Hey guys, Magma here. Today we're back with another brand new video, and in today's video we got more details and news about this Batman Damian Wayne game, which is being developed at WB Games Montreal, and some more details about that cancelled Suicide Squad game. Now, there was this Reddit post from this guy who was not very happy with WB Games Montreal, and I guess wanted to take some kind of revenge, so, he decided to leak all this stuff about the game, so, we're gonna be like, reading what he has here. Now the former post is being deleted, so I was lucky to get some screenshots here, so I'm just gonna read these out and then talk about my thoughts of this, and if I think this is true, or I could see it being true, or if I think it's total bullshit. So again, take all this news with a grain of salt, because it is again rumors, and we don't know for sure. But anyway, let's read it right now. It's more than likely not going to have Arkham in the title. I know the higher-ups wanted to steer clear of that. This game is intended to be a reboot of sorts, as well as being a sequel. Some of the earlier titles I heard were Batman Beyond Arkham. Again, getting similar to that, the futuristic Batman Beyond vibes. Batman Arkham Beyond, Batman Arkham Legend, and Batman Arkham Generations. None of these titles will be used. Like I said, they want to remove Arkham from the title, So from the sounds of this, it's not going to be like a true Batman Arkham game, but it's going to be in the Batman Arkham continuity, alright? So, I could see that, because why else would they set a Batman game, in the future without, Bruce Wayne? Now, it also says that this game is also the start of a new trilogy starring Damian Wayne as the main character. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think about Damian Wayne, alright? Damian Wayne, I don't really like him that much, especially in the animated New 52 movies. He's just so whiny and all that stuff, like, oh my god, he's so annoying. But in the comics, he's okay, I guess, But honestly, I would have preferred it if it was Terry McGinnis or something, you know what I mean? But Damian Wayne as Batman, and there's actually, like, stories where Damian Wayne was actually Batman, like, in the comics. And he was like, of course, he was raised by, raised as, like, a ninja in the League of Shadows, or League of Assassins. Ra's al Ghul and all that stuff, so he's very ruthless and is, killer and all that stuff. So, he's like, he just did not give a shit. I did a lot of work for this game, and I've also seen and heard quite a bit about the cancelled Suicide Squad game. I've been a bit frustrated lately with the way that this company has handled these two projects. It's ridiculous. The Suicide Squad game was the original project. Here's some details. Now, this actually makes sense, alright? The Suicide Squad game being the original project, because in Batman Arkham Origins, we got that cutscene at the end, after the credits, I think it was, where they were teasing Suicide Squad and Deathstroke was there. So, honestly though, Suicide Squad game, I'm not sure what I'd feel about that, because I didn't like the movie that much, but I think, yeah, Suicide Squad game I think it'd be pretty good, and I think it would be. I think I'd rather have a Suicide Squad game than a Batman game, because we've already had so much Batman games. Like, you have all these characters from the DC universe. You got the Flash, you got Superman, you got a Green Arrow. A Green Arrow game would be badass, right? I would love a Green Arrow game. I think that would fit, especially for, like, let's say Rocksteady to do a Green Arrow game, because, Green Arrow, Batman, they're both, like, humans, and, they're both, like, billionaires and all that, so, it would fit, but, Green Arrow is also a very different character from, Batman, because Batman's all serious, Green Arrow's got the humor and all that, so, I think a Green Arrow game, I would love to see a Green Arrow game. And also, I can imagine, something like a Superman game would also be pretty good, and I don't know, like a Telltale Flash game. Now, I'm going to continue reading on. It lets you switch between several squad members throughout the game for certain missions. The game focused on Deathstroke, which again makes sense. He handled much like Batman, only with killing finishers instead of Batarangs. So that sounds a lot like Red Hood in Batman Arkham Knight, where pretty much he plays like Batman, but uses his guns and his finishers kill people, and stealth, he like snaps people's necks. So I could definitely see that. He'd use pistols to quickly kill or stun enemies. He also has a sniper that the player could use. So again, all that sounds like Red Hood. Harley Quinn was in the game near the end. The executives did not like this and wanted her to be a big focus of the game, much like the movie. I'll tell you, I did not like Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad movie, but yeah, okay, I could see that. Now, Deadshot was a pretty big character and had a playful rivalry with Deathstroke throughout the game over who is the better assassin. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because, they're both, assassins, they both kill people and all that, so I could see them having a little playful rivalry there and who's better. And Slipknot was in a few levels, not even kidding. He was not playable though. I'll tell you, Slipknot was my favorite character in the Suicide Squad movie. He was only in like 2 scenes. He didn't even have an introduction, alright? We see him, and he was like, Slipknot! He can climb anything. And he punches the lady in the face, and then the next scene, boom, head blows off. So, you know, pretty cool character. He will be forever missed in our hearts. Gone but never forgotten. You fight Batman in a lot of the levels. Batman was a bit like K. Lang from Mass Effect 3, though. He doesn't work well as a boss fight. If you beat him, it would play a cutscene of your character winning the fight, but then Batman uses a gadget to knock them out for the sake of the story. That makes sense because you can't really kill Batman, you know what I mean? Like, you know, for story's sake, and, you know, yeah. But anyway, the squad would be in and out of jail for most of the game until the last third in the last act. The team was in full force, and you'd be allowed to switch between them and perform combos. So, you know what, switch between them, that sounds like, Arkham Knight's like dual combat, where you could switch from Robin to Batman, and also the whole thing with the boss fight with Batman. That actually sounds pretty cool, but again, it just wouldn't really work out because, you know, if you beat him, then he kind of just, you know, gets away, and, you know, then he kind of wins. There was co-op. Every mission featured at least 2 squad members. It worked like the Batman/Robin team in Origins multiplayer. Joker was in it for a few levels, so Joker was in it. I'm actually assuming that this is all in the Arkham continuity because, you know, we had that teaser in Arkham Origins, so maybe it would be like Troy Baker Joker. Now, there was a mini-campaign featuring Batman and Robin. The game was not very fun to play. The open-world aspect did not work at all. Certain players could not traverse the world too well. They tried implementing a hook gun for everyone, but it was stupid. Alright, now that is what I see, alright, because, like, you know, we have, like Deathstroke with a hook gun, you know. That makes sense, right? But if you have characters like, I don't know, let's say we got El Diablo with a hook gun, or Harley Quinn with a hook gun, it would just look ridiculous, you know what I mean? You know, traversing the open world. So, that's like one of the reasons I could see this game being cancelled. And this game faced a lot of issues from having an uninteresting story to a wonky co-op system in which the combos did not work very well to a bad open world. Now, these make sense in why the game was cancelled, honestly, so, you know, I could definitely see, you know, these being factors into why it was cancelled. So, you know, this all makes sense to me. I think this is all, you know, I think this is very likely true, but, you know, again, take this with a grain of salt, but it doesn't really matter because the game was cancelled, but, you know, it's good to know all this stuff and, you know, some factors on why the game was cancelled. So, you know, we're gonna just take a look at the next bit, alright? So, we got another detail about the Suicide Squad game. The story was about the squad being forced by Deathstroke and Amanda Waller to kill Batman and stop the Joker in Gotham City. It's very similar to Arkham Origins in a lot of ways. Now that's all about the details from the Suicide Squad game, which was supposedly cancelled. Now here are some details about the new Batman game. Again, I'll repeat. Take all this with a grain of salt. Imagine Batman Beyond, but with Damian Wayne. That's what this is. Terry McGinnis was originally considered, but they figured it'd be easier to sell Batman's son instead of a new character to games. Okay, this part just... Oh my god, you know how I was saying I'd love to see Terry McGinnis in this instead of, you know, Damian Wayne, because I don't really like Damian Wayne as a character? This is the part that makes me think, no, this can't be true, because, like, Terry McGinnis, like, Batman Beyond, right, is, like, iconic, like... Everybody knows Batman Beyond, or, you know, it's you know, very popular. Like, we even have it, like, in the comics. Like, after the show got cancelled, there's, like, different versions of Batman Beyond in the comics, and they have this new DC Rebirth Batman Beyond, and people still, you know and love Batman Beyond. So, it's just saying that, oh, you know, Terry McGinnis, would be easier to sell Batman's son. I'm just like, no, man, what the, like, I hope this isn't true, but, you know, it could very well be true, because I would love to see Terry McGinnis in there. But anyway, Bruce Wayne is much older and lives in the Batcave full-time. Damian tracked him down and is new to the Batsuit. Alfred has passed away, sadly, you know, because he's old, but Bruce serves in that mentor role, so now Bruce is old, so, you know, many of the villains have escaped. There are also new incarnations in many villains, like Black Mask. Big character big character here, Poison Ivy. I was, you know, reading a little ahead, so, you know, I got a little confused there, but anyway, Poison Ivy. Now, the explanation for Poison Ivy in this, now, since it's still in the Arkham continuity, the explanation for Poison Ivy, since, you know, she died in, you know, Arkham Knight, is the previous one transferred her conscience to a new body, so I don't like that idea at all. Honestly, if they were going to have the same continuity, I would keep Poison Ivy dead. Like, she already died in Arkham Knight, just leave it at that. We don't really, like, I don't really see a reason to bring Poison Ivy into this, but anyway, Man-Bat. Someone else tried to continue Kirk's work, And then we got Scarecrow and Bane. Now the Riddler is back, so that's bad because we got more Riddler trophies, so again, very bad. But so is the Penguin, who looks much older now and has a bad cough. Now that, I believe, makes sense. Now, he says Two-Face is radically different and is a major villain now. In other leaks and that we heard that Two-Face is like the Judge, so like, which is a completely different, persona of, Harvey Dent. Like, we got, Two-Face, and the Judge is like completely different, so I'm pretty excited to see that, although here it does not say the Judge, which I find weird. And it also says there's a Kite Man side quest, and it's the best. Trust me. Now, Kite Man, if you don't know, is like some, like, 60s, like, weird, like, comic book character that's very, like, cheesy, I guess. Like, it's pretty crazy. But anyway, Talia and Raz are back in a flashback mission involving Damien's childhood. That makes sense. Harley Quinn leads the Joker cult, but is a side quest this time around. They want to stray from Joker type stuff. Now, I can see that because we have, like, through the Arkham games, we've been having some complaints that there's too much Joker, and even I think there's a little bit too much of Joker. Like in DC Rebirth, for example, like when that whole thing was announced, they was showing off all these titles. What was the thing that, people were talking about the most was the Joker reveal, Oh, we're gonna find out who the Joker finally is in, like, Justice League issue, blah, blah, blah. So, I was like, So, yeah, like, it's all about the Joker. And even when we got, like, stuff like Two-Face is, like, the main villain in All-Star Batman, it's, like, still talking, like, people are still more hyped about the Joker. And I just thought, like, Batman has so many great villains. Like, you got, Mr. Freeze, again, Two-Face, Killer Croc, all these great villains, and it's just all the Joker most of the time, what I mean? Especially, like, in the New 52, we got, like, Endgame and, Death of the Family and all these storylines. But anyway, most think Bruce Wayne is still Batman. Some of the villains even say things like, "Hello, Brucey," and "Mr. Wayne, come to die." So, yeah, I get it, makes sense. And, of course, it's not Bruce. Now, Jason Todd is in the game, so I'm guessing he's appearing as Red Hood. He feels bad over the events of Arkham Knight, but still goes around killing criminals. So, yep, he's still Red Hood, but I guess an older. Now, Dick Grayson also serves as a mentor. He wants to go into retirement, but something stops him from doing so. I can answer this if you guys want, but it's a big spoiler. Tim Drake is not in the game very much. He's out of the game. Azrael is mad that Batman didn't ask him to take up the mantle and has become a villain. It's really cool, so yeah, I could see that happening. The location is Gotham City. It's not abandoned or evacuated. Well, some areas are, where the villains reside mostly. There are plenty of civilians in Gotham, as well as crime system in which Damien is alerted of nearby crimes in progress, like muggings, carjackings, robberies, murders, serial killers, thieves, etc. Now that sounds cool to me. I think that's pretty cool. I actually like the idea, and I hope it's in the game, because think about it. You're traveling across the sea, and then you get like this alert when there's a crime happening at this random location, so then you travel there, and maybe, you get some points out of it or something. So I really hope, that's in the game, and this part is actually true. Now, you can't go on most roads, as cars will hit you. Shadow of Mordor or Nemesis system is in this game, and it's great. It ties into these crimes. So it's going to be tying into those crimes where, you can, it's optional where when a crime's going on, like a murder or like, a carjacking, you can stop that and, like the person will remember that, but if you don't, then I guess, like, we'll continue reading on. If the criminal gets away or kills you, they continue to commit crimes and become noticed by various gangs and villains. They receive equipment from them and can even be recruited by them. They commit bigger and bigger crimes and will start a lead squad of bad guys if Batman keeps failing. That sounds cool. Eventually they can adopt a criminal persona. We have a ton of them. And which one they adopt depends on which villains support them. Even if Batman stops them, villains can break them out if they were a high-level criminal. You have to keep sending them back. Okay, so I'm just gonna, read the next one. They have to keep on sending them back to jail and thwarting their plans to stop them for good. It's pretty awesome. Now, the Batmobile isn't in the game. Okay, that makes sense because, like, a lot of people, like, Arkham Knight with the overuse of the Batmobile, like, a lot of people got annoyed at that. We saw that in all the reviews and that, and it was, like, a negative of the game, how they used the Batmobile way too much, so I can see them, not using the Batmobile, except for one of the final missions after something. I can't tell you this. if you want big spoiler. Now, I believe the goal is to get a trailer at E3. Expect the game in Q1 or Q2 of 2018. Now, that seems reasonable. You know, that kind of release date around, you know, in 2018. Like, you know, I guess that's like, you know, spring or like, you know, somewhere in there. Now, a trailer at E3, you know, again, take all this with a grain of salt, because, you know, this is not confirmed. This is all rumor. So don't get your hopes up too much. Now, anything involving specific plot details is omitted. Ask what you want to know. Okay, so yeah, we got a lot of stuff there now. There's some, you know, questions he answers, so we're going to read them out. So this one was about, like, the suit for Batman, and it said, think Beyond suit mixed with Hellfire mixed with Batman suit from Arkham Knight. It's armored with a big red bat logo. Batman's eyes are red instead of white. The cape is metallic. It's sick as fuck. And yet Black Mask is a woman. I can explain more on this if you want tomorrow. Dick is shaved and has a scar on the side of his head. The story is much more than the previous game, and the main events take place over a span of about a month. Suicide Squad was intended to continue the story of Origins 2, so yeah, that was in the Arkham continuity, that makes sense. The studio wanted to do something outside of focusing exclusively on Batman. Again, I want this because you have all these characters from the DC universe, and they just keep on relying on Batman. I'm like, dude, come on, you have so much heroes. Like, imagine, like, again, like a Flash Telltale game, that would be sick, alright? I'm just saying. But anyway, it didn't work out so well. This new Batman game will at least let us focus on someone that isn't Bruce Wayne. Damien is easy to sell on the logic of Bruce's, you know, Bruce banged Talia years back, and she had a kid in secret, and lines up with their relationship in Arkham City. Yeah, that does make sense, and a big part of Terry's character is that he's related to Bruce, but it's much more complicated than Damien's relation, since the game isn't futuristic like Batman Beyond. The idea was not to use Terry, so people don't get mad that it's not the same thing as the show. The Bat Cycle replaces the Batmobile, which lots of people consider to be the worst part of Arkham Knight. Well, hold on, it's kind of cut off here in these screenshots I have, but anyway, yeah, half of it anyway. WB wipes pretty well. For real though, it used to be a great company to work for, but the past few months have not been very fun. Okay, so this guy obviously does not like WB Games Montreal. He doesn't like his job, he's not having fun working on these games, and you know, if you're mad at all this stuff, you know, sure, you know, but I think you should just honestly just quit and not, you know, leak out all this information, because, like, I'm pretty sure you also have to, like, sign, like, a contract saying you don't, you know, reveal all this information. Like, don't you have to sign a contract saying that? So, you know, like, who knows, maybe he got caught, and we did, like, the post was deleted, so, you know, who knows. But anyway, yeah, we still have this information, so it might be true, it might not be true. Just let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. Remember, take all this with a grain of salt, and yeah, that sadly brings this video to a close. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and share, and if you come across the channel for the very first time, don't forget to subscribe, as we make DC-related videos almost every day. But anyway, that has been Magma signing out. Peace.